In this first example, we'll be looking at a common access control error called a rule conflict. A rule conflict occurs when a rule or multiple rules in a policy or policy set are defining opposite authorizations. An example could be, in one policy, person A is permitted to take an action on a certain resource. However, in another policy, there is a rule stating that person A should be denied to take an action on that same resource. Due to this flaw in their policy logic, their system may end up enforcing an unintended access decision. This could mean blocking this individual from accessing a resource required to perform his job, resulting in wasted time of tech support attempting to resolve the issue, or the employee waiting around to be able to work on their project. Or alternatively, it could mean giving this individual more privileges than what is needed to do their job, which could result in a vulnerability or security hole for an attacker to exploit to potentially steal or leak data. If we quickly glance at our setup of this example, we will notice we have several subject, resource, and action attributes, and two ABAC policies to demonstrate a rule conflict. One value to point out is that the manager attribute has an attribute value named Dr.3, which is also an attribute value defined under the doctor attribute. This happens because in our example, an individual at this hospital has a role of both doctor and manager at the facility. Due to this, the individual is assigned both Doctor, Dr.3, and Manager, Dr.3 attribute values by the system. Our two ABAC policies, Manager Policy and Doctor Policy, both have rule combination algorithms and policy enforcement algorithms as deny overrides and deny bias respectively. Manager Policy has 9 rules and Doctor Policy has 30 rules with a bit more complex variation. Next, we'll quickly look at the security requirement schema we will use for testing in this example. We have two individual security requirements in this example, both having the same combination of subject attributes, but then one requirement describing access to resource patient C private notes, and the other access to patient C personal info. Now we are ready to start testing for this example. We're going to run two single policy verifications so that we can see how each of our two policies separately react to our security requirement schema. We will click Policy Verification, Single Policy, Test Case 1, and Manager Policy, and then right away do the same process for the Doctor Policy. We will see two verification results for each policy test, meaning we'll have one result for each of our individual security requirements contained in our test case 1 schema. So Manager Policy Verification has 2 results, and then Doctor Policy Verification also has 2 results. As you can see from our verification results, we are in fact experiencing a rule conflict. In the Manager Policy test, the Doctor, Dr.3, and Manager Dr.3 are not permitted to view patient C private notes, but then are permitted to view patient C personal info. Then if we look at our other test, the opposite is happening. Doctor, Dr.3, and Manager Dr.3 is permitted to view patient C private notes, but are not permitted to view patient C personal info. Now we can click on all 4 of our verification results to see which policy rules are matched with the results. Rule 9 in the Manager Policy says, Manager Dr.3 is denied to view private notes. But then in Rule 6 in the Manager Policy, it says Manager Dr.3 is permitted to view personal info. Then if we look at our other verification test, we can see that Doctor Policy Rule 29 states that Doctor, Dr.3 is permitted to view private notes. However, in the Doctor Policy Rule 26 states that Doctor, Dr.3 is denied to view patient C personal info. In summary, the Manager Policy defines that Dr.3 can view patient personal info but cannot view the private notes. However, in the Doctor Policy, the opposite has been defined. Dr.3 can view private notes but cannot view patient personal info. Thus, we have a rule conflict occurring. To resolve this policy logic flaw, we will need to make some changes to our policies and rules. Depending on your organizational structure, the policy author, access control administrator, would need to decide what is the most appropriate action to take to resolve the error. There isn't exactly any right or wrong solution for this. You would need to determine what is most appropriate based on your organizational needs. For our example, we provide one possible solution by modifying Rule 9 of the Manager Policy to permit Manager Doctor 3 to view patient C private notes, and modify Rule 26 in the Doctor Policy to permit Doctor 3 to view patient C personal info, which will in turn resolve the rule conflict. For this example, our solution, we are making an exception for this individual Doctor 3 because they are required to be able to view both patient personal info and private notes to perform their job as both a manager and a doctor. However, in an organization with a critical emphasis on privilege restrictions to these resources for each role, they may decide that to be an inappropriate solution. So continuing with our solution, if we make our modifications to now permit Rule number 9 in the Manager Policy and to permit Rule 26 in the Doctor Policy, we can then refresh our verification results and we'll see the rule conflict is no longer occurring. You can download this completed Healthcare Test Case 1 project file on the Security Policy Tool website.